Hey, how are you doing? Welcome. This is day three, um, or like the classics call it Friday, Friday the 3rd, 2025. So weird day this morning. Like I didn't get up until pretty late just because I wasn't feeling too well. Still not feeling great, but you know what? I'm feeling good enough to to maybe just maybe do my due diligence and make a video for you. Um, uh, I've really been thinking a lot about okay, what's my format? How do I do this? Um, I think I'm really good at impromptu and off the cuff type of talking. Um, I've also read off teleprompter in the past and read from scripts, but I don't know. I feel like let's just talk. Let's just have a little me and you get together and I don't know. Friday is a much anticipated day for a lot of people. They want to get to Friday. Monday is the antithesis of joy, and Friday is the yes, Friday. Um, I don't party a lot, so I used to, but I don't much anymore. Not for any particular reason, just because it just got boring. And I'm all for partying. Don't get me wrong. I just I don't know. I think a lot of people, especially after the last couple of years, a lot of people have really stayed to themselves and isolated themselves. I'm not a fan of it. I'm pretty a social person. I love people. I love talking to people. Uh, my mom used to say, "Well, strangers just somebody you haven't met yet," and I agree with that. I think that's pretty accurate. So this room in here, it's pretty good with lighting. Um, so but you'll see me out and about more as the weeks go by and the months go by and the years go by because I plan on being here for a while. Um, but we plan, God laughs, right? Um, I was thinking, I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube. People are people watchers. I'm a people watcher, but I like doing it in person and watching people just maybe just sitting in a cafe or a bar or something and just watching people. And I'm a big fan of poker. One day I will become the first black man to win the World Series of Poker. Maybe this year is the year. Who knows? I'm a big fan of the game of poker. Um, I've been a dealer in casinos, um, and it made me never want to go into a casino. But it actually increased my love for the game of poker, um, which actually came from my love of chess and other strategic games. Um, I love that it's based on human nature, and the game itself is actually pretty simple. What makes it tricky is that we fight against our own interests sometimes. Our ego is involved, um, and that's what makes the game hard. And then your assumptions and your tells, which, if you don't know what tells are, it's the thing that gives you away. Essentially, what poker is a game in which you sit around the table and you wager money to tell a story. Whoever has the best story, the most believable story, um, will wager the most. And you have to decide whether you, out of the 10 people, sometimes, most of the time, it's like 9 or 10 people at a table, you decide whether or not that person is telling the truth or telling a fib. Um, and you base everything on that, and you get different turns, and so what you say is, hey, I went down the road to the store today. I'm gonna bet that I went down the road to the store today. And the guy's like, I can agree with that. I'll call that. I won't raise you. I believe you. And then the guy says it. Yeah. And then, well, when I got to the store, I saw an alien, and the alien just it kind of took me off guard because I've never seen an alien before. I've heard that they were out there, but I don't really believe that they exist. And it's crazy to me that I actually saw one. It kind of shocked me at first. But the person was like, don't be alarmed. Um, I noticed that you can see me, and a lot of other people can't. And I said, am I hallucinating? He said, no, you're not hallucinating. For some reason, I don't know. It's the day. I don't know what it is, but it seems that you are able to see me, and a lot of people aren't able to see me. We do have a cloaking device, and it is us to hide in plain sight. And I was blown away, but the person was very calming, and they wore regular clothes. I mean, their face was what you would see in traditional sense, what we see as aliens on TV and in the media and fiction. But this wasn't fiction. This guy, he was just a normal person. He drove up there. I chit chatted with him for a little bit. He drove up there, and he says, "Yeah, I have a family. I do normal things. We were here. We were sent here on a pilot program, and we were just mainly we were just trying to blend in and assess you guys." And I said, well, "So the movies that do that say you're assessing us? That's true." And the guy says, "Yeah." And so yeah, so I met an alien when I was getting some gas and a sub at the local shop, and the guy, my opponent, will look at me and, you mean a legal alien, right? Like, you don't mean an actual alien. I mean, we're not sure if they exist, and if they do exist, that's I don't really believe you. Okay, you don't believe me, that's fine. Well, I'm gonna bet double the pot that I did see an alien. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I'm gonna call. I don't think you. I don't think you saw an alien. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. I don't know. So yeah, I saw an alien. Uh, it's weird that you don't believe me. I think I'm gonna put you all in. You're gonna put me all in? That doesn't make any sense. I know you're lying. You know you're lying. Everything tells me to call you because you're lying. But you wouldn't have that much confidence, would you, if you didn't see him? Because this is real money we have on the table. And for you to just bet everything, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. And as much as I don't believe you, this can't be true. I mean, maybe you think you saw one? I fold. I fold. Thanks. Yeah, no, I didn't see an alien. That's crazy. Why would you? Dumbass. So that's poker in a nutshell. I love the game. I love that it's basically you in a war against yourself, against your own belief, against what you see and what you believe in, and mistrust or trust. Um, I think it's a pretty awesome game. And I do think that life does mimic the game of poker, or maybe poker mimics the game of life. Um, I don't know. I feel like A lot of things are that, like dating. You go and you date, and essentially, well, I don't know how it is now. Really, I mean, I try to date. I actually like going on physical dates. Not only do I like going on physical dates, I like actually sitting down, talking to the person, try to keep our phones down or away, and just try to get to know the person in an organic way. I don't think that happens a lot nowadays. I almost know that it doesn't happen that way a lot, which is unfortunate. I think it's just the way the world is now. Um, but I talk to a lot of people and I've lived in a lot of places, and everybody always wants to have a date. They want to have a traditional courting. Most people want that, but a lot of people don't even know what it is. A lot of people I've met have never been on a date if they're in their 20s, sometimes even 30s. Um, I'm a little older than that, but a lot of people, so you go online and you'll see people have really skewed and really messed up ideas of what relationships are, what dating is, what courtship is. A lot of people have no clue. So they basically go by what they see on the internet. And I've told you before, a lot of tricksters on the internet. It's funny enough though. I don't know if you've ever seen that show on the internet. I'm not sure if it's a show or it's probably an internet channel. I'm not sure, where they have balloons, and you if it's a guy or a girl, whatever, they have a person of the opposite sex or sometimes the same sex down the line, um, with balloons, and at any point in time, you pop the balloon if you don't want to be in the running for that person. Um, Now, when you do that, um, you they'll go up to you and ask you about yourself, and then why you pop the balloon, why you feel like you didn't match with that person. Um, it's crazy. I've been seeing a lot of those videos, and they intrigue me. They intrigue me so much because a lot of times people will pop the balloon just off looks, which I realize that a lot of the world now, especially the way things are, everything is pretty surface level. Um, but I don't think people want it to be. I think it is because people feel like that's just the way things are. So they will go and be shallow and really base everything first and foremost and mostly on the looks, or how they would look with somebody, or how just surface level. Sometimes you'll see people on there who get and they start talking, and they're really they're seemingly great people. They have a lot going for them. They just want a real relationship, a true relationship. And I've seen it where the guy's like, I just want a girl that's hardworking, that's loyal, and then you hear pop, 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 and I'm sitting there like, really? You're just you have a problem with the hardworking and loyal part? Sure enough, sometimes the girls say, yeah, he was saying hardworking, and I want my man to take care of me. I want the person to take care of me. Sometimes they say, you know what, I just the clothes he was wearing. Matter of fact, the shoes. I just didn't like his shoes. Everything else, I don't know. I didn't wait around. That the shoes told me everything I need to know about that guy. Um, I don't know. It just sometimes I feel like it's the lowest common denominator. I look back on past relationships. I'm going to talk about movies again. I talked about a movie yesterday, but I'm going to talk about movies again. There's a movie I really love with John Cusack and Jack Black, and there's other women in the movie, but it's basically about a guy who owns a record store, which is incidentally, I talked about records last night, yesterday with you. But yeah, so he was just having some introspection and thinking about his past relationships, and he just wonders why it never works and what's keeping him from having lasting love. So he does something wild. He actually goes and tracks down his exes and he talks to them, and he tries to figure out what happened. What did I do wrong? I'm gonna let you watch that movie more to get the rest of that story. But the movie's called High Fidelity. Has great performances. Jack Black earlier in his career, I remember him from Mr. Show, but he did a great job. He did a great job, no doubt. Um, he got roles from that performance. Um, I don't know. Um, there's other movies like that, like 50 First Dates. Um, I don't particularly like date movies. It's a shame, but maybe the guy in me just doesn't want to sit through all that mush. But honestly, maybe that's the way it used to be. It's not how I am now. I'm more and more. I'm finding myself turning on a romantic comedy or a romantic film. A lot of my movies that I like are horror movies or thrillers. I like those, or just oddball. I want to explore dating movies at some point, and as the time goes by, maybe that'll be a theme. What do you think? What's your favorite date movie? Are there any movies that hit you really hard, um, get you thinking about past relationships? Have you had a lot of past relationships? What do you think about the state of dating now? Something very important, I think. I do feel like we all should have someone. And I think the longer you go without having somebody, you get in a state of mind where it's almost harder to have somebody and coexist with somebody because you're just used to being solitary. Um, some call it single mindedness. I actually call it that too. Sometimes you'll meet people like that their idea of a relationship is transactional. Give me something and I give you something back. When you stop giving me something, then I got to bounce, or I got to find somebody who will give me that thing you're not giving me. Um, it could mean matters of the heart. It could mean physical, monetary things. You know, maybe you're used to someone just taking care of you, and then when you find somebody who wants to be more of a partner, more of a shared responsibility in the relationship, maybe that's something that bothers you, that maybe you feel like that's you're getting the bad end of the stick. Um, I dated a girl once, and she didn't know how to deal with me. She just basically said, "I don't know. I just feel like it's too good to be true." And I'm not saying I'm all that or whatever, but she was like, "Yeah, all the guys I've ever been with cheated on me. All of them. Some have even beaten on me. Stole from me. Um, you know, did me dirty, and you're not acting like that, and I don't understand." And I said, "That's just not how I was raised, and that's not what I want to do. I want to have a dedicated, lasting, loving relationship with somebody and share our hopes and dreams and our goals and do things together." And she said, "I don't understand that. I think all men are the same, and eventually you will probably cheat on me or beat on me. You might steal from me." Um, I don't think she was in a place to change that mindset. Um, we ended up breaking up. It wasn't a long relationship, but I think once you are stuck in a situation where you are in disbelief, um, you will fold, and that's unfortunate. Sometimes the story's true. Sometimes you should believe it, and maybe you'll get reward from that. Uh, I don't know. I just feel like I have hope in things, and I want so much to believe. and I believe in stories. Um, I have some stories. Um, Maybe one of these days we'll have a story time. Maybe we'll make it a regular thing. Maybe on Fridays we'll tell stories. What do you think? You think that would be pretty cool? Okay. Thursday, maybe movie review, music review. Fridays, let's tell stories. That might work. I also have an idea about gems. Something that someone maybe thought, or I think, is pretty awesome that maybe not a lot of people know about. Diamond in the rough, one of those hidden gems. I was thinking about doing that on Tuesdays. What do you think about um, a themed vlog? That's really essentially what I want to do. Um, but there's an underlining purpose. Um, I do hope you join me. This is January 3rd, 2025. Don't let your heart be troubled. Just remember, hate is a cancer and love is the answer. Remember that.